It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Mariam Longe. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, and I'm so grateful to God. I've had like a few days of nursing my daughter back to health. She hasn't been feeling too well, and it was quite serious. She had infective pharyngitis, so it just sore throat. But it was really bad. She had a lot of blisters in her mouth, her throat. She was unable to eat or drink without taking a pain reliever first. So we did that for a few days. The doctors have given her the all clear. So she's back in school today. And then to wake up this morning, I hear that diphtheria is everywhere, especially in Abuja. So it's almost like the same symptoms. But that's a bacterial infection. Just so your children, if they have symptoms like sore throat, they're coughing, you know, some of them go as far as having nosebleeds, headaches. Important to take them to hospital so that they can start getting treatment.
That's really important. Some of my kids are coughing, but I always just say cough your way, you cough it and it will go. You know, but like when this word that you just said, I just realized.
It's in the papers that diphtheria is in Abuja, and I hope it doesn't spread all the way. How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very good. Grateful to God for life and business. And I am at that point with business that I have to start marketing every day. I'm going to think like BC. I'm going to go live every day.
Yes, sir. I went live yesterday. I said I want to come with Tokwe and please, I must say my market.
You know, because I think that sometimes you just feel like, oh, let me not overdo this pushing. Let me not overdo marketing. I beg, I'm marketing. I have promo and on all our real estate. We have lands in Lagos and they are well-documented land. And I feel like I'm telling people to do it and I'm not doing it. Like you have a good product and you're now forming not to market it or you're looking tush in marketing. I beg, come and buy markets. I'm selling real estate, houses and land.
You must get you a bell.
Yes, I need to get a bell. So I'm going to do mine too.
We have our guest co-host, Ronke Fasher, in the building. How are you doing, Mrs. Fash?
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning, everyone.
I'm super honored to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you so much.
Anything happening in your life? How many kids you got?
Okay, so
business you're running?
Okay, so I've got 3 children. I'm married to an actor.
An actor, really?
Yeah. And then, okay, so I'm a life coach. I like to do anything, character, morals, manners, parenting. So I went to ORE for the 2nd time. For a parenting conference, and it was huge. We had this speaker that scattered everywhere. Like on Saturday. I got back on Sunday. It was intense. It was.
You need to bring that.
People are learning about parenting. It's a good thing.
How do there more men in that?
So that was the problem.
We have more women.
We had about 85% women and then 15% men. But the few men who were there really they appreciated it. But the host, the organizers of the event came up with a wow idea. So the next year's edition, they're going to have everybody, and then they'll have a men's locker room. So now we see that it's men that need to hear most of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Rayo is selling a book.
Oh, yeah, I'm selling my book, definitely. Please order on kabetimedia.com. But more importantly, yesterday, my son, on Amazon, please, for those of you in the abroad, Amazon, it's on all the way, Amazon and iBooks, and in different platforms. Also in Barnes and Nobles too, right? But yeah, I got it on Barnes and Nobles. So I had a banter. My brother was arrested by Central Business District yesterday. He now called me, Mr. Murayo, they arrested me. What do you want me to do now? You want me to be like a Rufai was saying, he's calling to a guy, no governor. I just went there to show face. Hopefully that, so I went there, and they're very nice. In the Central Business District, they were quite courteous. I mean, thank you to all the ladies and men there. They were really, really courteous. I really appreciate their pleasantness and pleasantries. But eventually, we were able to have a conversation over it. I told them to provide the evidence we couldn't get the evidence of infraction, but I mean, we were able to sort this out. But I like that they were courteous, and we were also courteous, and we kind of resolved everything properly. But thank you so much to Central Business District for their professionalism. I must celebrate their professionalism. Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll look at the front page of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Presidency governors back Bamidele, Ndume, and Umahi. President's policies excites Bank of America. NBS reports food prices airfare rose sharply in May. Tinubu's witnesses begin oral testimony at tribunal. Zulum buys 80 luxury buses to ease transport costs. INEC set to file charges against Adamawa Rec. IG Egbetokun deploys 35 police commissioners. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Yes, I'm starting here. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum released 80 vehicles to ease high cost of transportation for farmers. He says because of the withdrawal of fuel subsidy, of course, as we all know, that it has caused a rise in transportation costs. But he also said, and he acknowledges that even though that's like the short-term impact of the fuel subsidy removal, this will be better for us in the long run. But in the meantime, to help his farmers get to the farm and come back, he's gotten 80 vehicles. He broke it down, 50 luxury buses and also about 30 pickup vans. So the farmers will be taken to their farms and back for free. I think it's just an amazing initiative that he's done, especially for me, I feel like where it's most needed. These are farmers, they need to get back and forth, it will really help them. There's a picture of all the buses. They look like all those American school buses. Yeah.
Okay,
nice.
So President Tinubu met with Bank of Industry yesterday, where he told them that he believes that Nigeria is on the right track so far, but we need all the help we can get. According to him, having a good platform and believing in innovation will help in undertaking reforms and tackling the issues. He said that we have to partner with Bank of Industry and other willing financial institutions to help the country. He said they can help us by partnering to ensure Nigerian gas competes favorably in the global market as a viable source of alternative revenue. He also said that and then the president of the International Bank of Industry, Mr. Bernard Mensah, said that expressed excitement about the initial steps taken by the president and said that he's taking Nigeria back to its rightful place in the global stage, and that the bank is willing to assist not just only financially, but also in ideas sharing and helping to understand and think through all the various marketing strategies. So we'll see how that goes. Any other story in Nation? Go ahead.
So I got one, something around an art-based loan. I think it's on page 6 or so. Okay. So I love it because we have to see how much we can help entrepreneurs. And that's what they're doing somewhere in Abuja. I can see Daria Ataladi, they're trying to see that artists get access to funds, because I know that art is one talent that most parents run away from. They say those artists are broke. Who's going to buy your portrait? I mean, why do you want to waste all your time? So if we're able to, as a system, provide finance for these guys, they might be able to have the platform to put themselves out there, and then we respect that particular discipline, because I feel we're not doing enough in Nigeria. We ignore it too much.
Right. So the acting inspector general of police, yes, in the nation, Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokun. That's what I'm actually... Egbetokun, calling his full name. And he has deployed 35 new commissioner of police. The names are listed. I don't need to go through that, but I think that everybody should get an update on which commissioner of police is serving your state.
This is in Lagos?
No.
Did you check Lagos?
No, Lagos here. Lagos is right here. So the CP for Lagos is Karim Musa to Interpol Annex Lagos. There are many CPs that will be in Lagos. Okay, so then there is the Port Authority, Police Western Lagos. So there are different. Look, Lagos isn't just one.
So you divided into
zones. Yes. So fraud unit Lagos, there's a CP handling fraud unit Lagos. There is explosive ordnance unit also. So there are many sub-units in Lagos, but we have 35 of them, and they've been mandated to prioritize the safety and well-being of the citizens they are serving. They are meant to ensure adherence to the principles of fairness and professionalism and respect for human rights. He also he said, because really what the CP is doing is providing leadership. So he said they should provide exemplary leadership and foster harmonious relationship within other security agencies.
I always remember him as a roaring lion.
Yes.
I don't remember
The Punch. Principal officers, APC protests selection. National Assembly members back Akpabio and Abbas. Customs sees 3 billion naira smuggled rice, arrest 344 smugglers. Slain UI done, buried amid tears, cleric condemns killers. Result falsification, JAMB sanctions more candidates, and Mesoma's probe. Investors suffer 671 billion naira one-day loss as equities tumble. Beavers, APC kicks as opposition faults INEC 98% success claim. And Tribunal, Tinubu tenders Chicago varsity admission letter and others. Okay.
Okay, so we'll talk about JAMB. I think JAMB is giving like a concluding report on what they've done so far. So the registrar, JAMB, Professor Oloyede, has said that the board has concluded its investigation on the case of a student in Anambra State. As we all know, she's been in the news a lot recently, Mesoma Ejikeme. We know what she was accused of fraudulently inflating her scores for her 2023 UTME examination. JAMB is saying that, well, given their investigation, that first of all, they want to assure parents, right, and assure everyone that the JAMB system is foolproof. Nothing can, it cannot be compromised. And so what the scammers have done, they said there's a whole industry. So they would use, they can come up with JAMB results or things that look like JAMB results without compromising JAMB platform itself. Okay. And so that recently, in 2021, they had updated their system. That JAMB had updated their system. So what happened with Mesoma, according to JAMB, is that the scammers were unaware of the update. And so when they printed out that form, it showed what they used in 2021, previous years. So he says that if you can look at her form, and for those who got it directly from the JAMB platform, you see that there's a difference. And it looks like what they used to use, but not what they used recently. And he said that she had conversations via phone with JAMB. If she's willing to bring her phone for investigation, we'll see that, that there's something. So they're accusing her of falsifying her results and also accusing some parents for being part of it. And they said that they are certain she falsified her result because there's some pertinent and quite personal details that cannot be gotten from anyone else except if she was involved or someone around her, an adult who was involved. Yeah. So that's their case. We'll see what the young lady does in defending herself.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Let me take the customs stories. So the Nigerian Customs Service seized about over 3 billion naira worth of smuggled rice between May 2022 and May 2023, according to this report released by the PRO Chief Superintendent of Customs, Abdullahi Maiwada. He said that over 200,000 bags of rice were seized within that period. He also gave more data saying that the total of 1,745 seizures were made by the service during this 13-month period, and that the import duty on these seizures were 1.7 billion naira, while the duty paid value was 4.74 billion naira. We're just giving data at an event which was obtained as a PR was obtained recently yesterday. Also, he also said that the highest value of seizures was over 420 million naira recorded in February alone and was comprised of 172 seizures. So just to give us an update on what customs services are doing, and that indeed they are ensuring. I mean, we've also recalled, they said that they're going to be releasing more personnel. They don't have enough personnel in customs, but they are going to be having more very soon because they're currently in training and they'll be coming in the next few months. We also have facilities are coming to, to also buffer up the efforts of the customs. So this was just like a report given to journalists to know the updates on Nigerian Customs Service.
So Beavers, of course, we know that there's still a tribunal ongoing concerning the elections that took place. APC is faulting the fact that opposition parties are kicking against what INEC said. So INEC has said that the 2023 general election was successful based on the 98% Beavers deployment rate. So what Beavers was meant to do was to ensure only those who are registered with the card could votes by providing a bimodal voter accreditation system. And they said that that system worked to the degree of 98%. Of course, the opposition parties have said that they don't agree with that statement. They said that they feel like that the record is showing 98%, and as compared to 2019, when the Beavers was recording a 29% success rate. So there was a major improvement, and INEC is saying there are still some issues. There are things they can do better. There's room for improvement. They're looking at the evidence of infraction during the election, including prosecution of offenders, and they will look at all the activity, all the actors involved, and they would ensure that they would confirm with the police to conclude the election and prosecute those involved. They also mentioned, remember the story of the resident electoral officer in Adamawa State? They said they submitted the case already concerning his own, and a total of 215 case files of election offenders have been submitted. APC is just saying that don't disagree without facts based on what INEC has informed us of.
Okay, Daily Sun, APC balls over choice of Senate, House of Reps, principal officers. Igbo hold talks with Delta governor, promise continuous investment in state. 2023 election, INEC admits facing challenges. NDLEA UK crime agency signed pact to fight drug cartels. Alleged JAMB fake result. I stand by my daughter, says Nnesoma's father. Despite challenges, we are on path of success, says Tinubu. Kano Anti-Graft Agency arrests Ganduje's works, commissioner over alleged $1 billion fraud. And pro-Buhari corrupt political appointees, Archbishop urges president. Okay, which story are we starting in? Daily Sun. So Ndigbo Cultural Forum that live in Delta State, they said they will continue to invest in the state. They said that the governor was assuring them that investments are safe, and the state capital, because of the peace that pervades the city, assuring that they would do more to support the government with massive investment across the state. The chairman of the forum, Mr. Chinedu Obodo, led the team to the governor, and they received them well and thanked the Igbo for their support and assured that peaceful investment climate in the state will continue and be sustained. He urged them to consider investing further by taking advantage of the peaceful environment across the state. He's happy to receive them because they actually supported him for his campaign and helped him to become governor. He said, I told Deltans that I want to be governor for all, not just Deltans, but all who live in the state, because where you live is where you develop, and give them the assurance. Okay?
So the NDLEA has signed a pact. They actually renewed the pact. It's something that we had before, but now they've renewed the MOU. The MOU is between the Nigerian National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, which is the Nigerian counterpart, and the National Crime Agency of the United Kingdom. And this renewed commitment is to take the battle to drug cartel as part of the effort to stamp out the serious organized crime in Nigeria and the UK. The General Buba Marwa, who is the head of the NDLEA, has said that he's happy about the renewal of the MOU, and he feels that no matter the hiding place, with the high intelligence driven operation tentacles that they'll be getting based on this partnership, they'll be able to get these people out. He looks forward to the effectiveness of this, and it's with great optimism. Those were his words. We've seen how effective NDLEA has been so far, so I'm really honestly looking forward to being able to get more of the big men, the big people behind the scene, the heads of the cartel, and it has the barons, the main guys that are the ones that are moving these drugs around. And I'm sure with more intelligence we'll get those ones. But so far they've been successful in getting the...
Even barons as well. Those ones.
Any story, son? Go ahead.
Yes, please. Okay, so I have a story on page 14. Maybe because I work with children. This story caught my attention. So it says how 6 teenagers freed Suleja inmates with school fees and pocket money. So at the beginning, we noticed a number of children in prisons, children, young adults who couldn't pay. Now, what is intriguing there is some of them got into prison because of a 5,000 they couldn't pay, because of a 20,000, you know, so small, but they're there. So these guys went on a visit to that prison and saw a number of young people, saw young adults who looked innocent. The story says those people looked innocent. So they decided to talk to their parents, set up some kind of committee, and came up with money to get these guys out of prison. I like the fact that it was recorded here. So we do not assume that all the changes we want as a nation is in the hand of the government. We need to lead the change that we want. So I know these guys would never want to get into that prison, everything they've seen. Yeah. It serves as a compass into the future.
Fantastic. Sorry, I just want to understand. They were locked up for missing school fees?
Somebody took wrapper, somebody stole Bonvita, as little as 5-10. Somebody even offended a wealthy man. Maybe slapped the wealthy man's daughter.
Then he's been locked up.
They threw them there.
It's terrible.
Yeah. But the story talks about the fact that these guys didn't have family members to help them. So for 5,000, 20,000, nobody to help you.
To get the bill out.
To get the bill
out. So sad.
Yeah.
Vanguard. APC disowns principal officers named by Akpabio and Abbas. Obey sit at home. Face closure. Enugu government tells traders and businesses. 2023 polls. INEC engages 427 lawyers to prosecute 215 electoral offenders. Afenifere moves to reconcile Adebanjo Fashion underway since Governor Makinde. Alleged $1 billion fraud. Court remands ex-governor Gunduje's commissioner. UTME controversy. We're probing Mesoma's result. INEC calls one witness. Closes defense in Obi's case against Tinubu's election. Presidential Tribunal. Tinubu tenders 17 exhibits to defend his election victory. Okay, which story are we starting with in Nation?
Leaders close shop as gunmen shoot into the air to enforce sit-at-home order in Ebonyi. Just hoping that's not mixing it up. So there was pandemonium in Isheke and Ukwachi, suburbs of Abakaliki, this in Ebonyi State. They said that gunmen reportedly shot into the air to disperse traders in the market area. They said this gunman came in an open-roof vehicle and 2 motorcycles, and they had different high-caliber guns, and they were shooting in the air. And then they were also warning people, and they said to them to go back, close shop, and go back, home, so that they could observe the 7-day sit-at-home. According to the report, the police came in just after they had, that this government had gone around shooting, that they came in and they tried to secure the place. And also that as of right now, when you go to these areas in Abakaliki, you will see the military and police, all on patrol, trying to protect citizens, indigents or residents of these communities. The government says doing that, the local government is doing all that they can, security-wise, to make sure that the people are protected and can go about their business. But this is what they're facing. We have this government in broad daylight shooting in the air and sending people back home.
So, talking about Ganduje and his former commissioner, Idris Wada, a chief magistrate's court sitting in Kano yesterday has remanded him for 12 days, even though he had been the ex parte application was to get him remanded for 14 days to enable proper investigation. The controversy is around 1 billion naira. This commissioner allegedly had awarded a contract for 1 billion naira, and the entire sum was taken out under bogus company name, different bogus companies, within a month of leaving the administration. They said the money was removed a month before handover. It was removed under the pretext that it will be used for construction and rehabilitation of about 30 roads across Kano, and that they have made some arrests. They've also arrested they also detained the permanent secretary and directors. This is being handled by the police, the Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission, PCACC, and it is. We're looking forward to seeing the proper investigation of how this happens, but the allegations are strong. 1 billion naira meant for road, taking a month before handover and being shared across different companies, and we're waiting to see what's happening. There's a lot of smoke.
We know now.
Let's see where the
we
fire
know how
is.
these things go. All right, so some leaders of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Organization, Afenifere, said yesterday that there are moves to reconcile the national leader, Pa Ayo Adebanjo, and his predecessor, Pa Ruben Fashoranti. According to this the report, Governor Seyi Makinde in Oyo State attended the meeting told journalists after the closed-door meeting, saying that they must both sheath their swords, that it's time for the Yoruba race to come together and be united, says that both Afenifere leaders supported different candidates during the 2023 elections, but the elections are now behind us and politics is over. We now need to focus on reconciliation. However, Pa Adebanjo said he dismissed the meeting, adding that he has no score to settle with Pa Fashoranti and that Governor Makinde should not enter the matter that doesn't concern him. Should not interfere in the matter that doesn't concern him. Okay, I think we're almost done here. That's all we can take. I don't think we have any more time. Let me just see the headlines in the Nigerian Tribune. Tinubu tenders educational records from Chicago State University and U.S. visa. UTME score controversy. Robbers storm Mina Palace, shoot 2 guards. Sit-at-home gunmen burn Palace van and disperse traders. APC disowns Bamidele Umahin Dume, others as Senate reps, principal officers emerge in 10th and National Assembly. And Makinde present as Afenifere leaders meet to unite Adebanjo and Fashoranti. That is all we can take on today's front page review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing our previous topic, and Tope was going to say something.
Yeah, there were a few things that I feel like we should discuss. For this story to come out after he had done it for 9 women, we probably wouldn't have heard if the last 2 did not revolt or report. So when we don't talk about it or report crimes, we don't report a crime, we don't report criminals, we don't prosecute them, we're enabling them to perpetrate the same crime with others. So he did to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, until they got to the 6th. And now these are the last 2 scenarios that we're getting to hear about. We need to prosecute faster. One of our actors, Empress in JAMB, was caught in this kind of thing with a man who has done it for someone else in Nigeria, done for several women abroad. It was because she now made her own story public that he got prosecuted. And the prosecution took place with the drama that happened in his home country, Liberia. Women should not feel vulnerable, like somebody has posted my nude picture. I know it might seem easier for celebrities to say, post it, I will take it in my full chest. And for younger women or for women that have younger children, they feel bad that you cannot, I don't want that kind of thing outside. So they would hide the reality of what has gone on. If you find out in that situation, please prosecute and ensure that the person gets the full justice so that they would no longer be able to do the same thing to other people as well.
Okay, so I think that's a good way to wrap up on that because it's important. Thank God for Black Diamonds Foundation. They're the ones that brought this to the fore and they're pushing it, and we must give them the support they require to ensure this man is prosecuted for what he's done. There was another story that caught our attention from the Uniport VC. Did you guys see that video? Of, Uniport VC, where he was speaking to a young girl who was indecently dressed, and he was asking for details because he wanted to dismiss her for the inappropriate dressing. And then for those of you that have watched the video, I'm not sure if our producer will be able to play the video for you, but the VC, obviously, the Vice Chancellor of the Port Harcourt University was captured in a viral video, asking his aides to get the details of the student who was indecently dressed. During the confrontation, the VC noted that the female student told him that she's comfortable how she's dressed. He didn't like her dressing. During the confrontation, the VC noted that the female student told him he found what she said disrespectful, and based on that, he asked for her dismissal. He wanted to get her details. But what are your thoughts on this? Because many have seen this from different sides. First of all, university is adults that attend university, not children. So these are 18-year-olds at least who are deciding to dress up the way they choose to dress up. The VC is accosting her, obviously, in public. How does she feel about that? And her response to him was, I'm perfectly comfortable with what I'm wearing. He found that disrespectful, and he was asking her for her to be dismissed. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think what she wore. I'm not sure if our producer can show that video, but what we saw was, I would say bomb shorts.
Yeah, it wasn't
not
bomb
bomb shorts.
shorts, wasn't it?
Shorts,
Above
yes, above the knee shorts, and then possibly crop top. She was wearing. I saw there was a black port, so I know there was a crop top. Yeah. But I mean, and she wore proper shoes. So he felt that
proper shoes.
and she knew where he was wearing stilettos, a different matter.
So that's decent shoes, eh?
But he felt that it was improper. What are your thoughts? Let me come to.
Okay.
Do you want to start? Yeah.
Yes. If organizations, corporate organizations, have dress code policies, I think it's just important that every school should have. If they have not had before, today is a good day to want to create one. Because if there's no policy, it will be unfair. I feel the decision to want to dismiss her is an overkill if there's no dress code policy. That's one. Number two, I have a huge problem with her response. I feel like he asked her, so he saw her, he didn't like the way she looked, and then he asked. So the mere fact that he was asking you shows that he didn't just see her and say, bundle this girl, throw her out of this place. And when they say why, he said, because I don't like the way she dressed. But he was fair enough to say, why are you dressed like this? So her response was inappropriate, and I guess her response triggered the overaction of, I will dismiss her, I'll do that. So I think for people in that capacity, we've got to learn to act professionally. So he could have handled that differently, and she will still get punished, and it will serve as a deterrent to so many others.
The question there is, she was speaking the truth. Comfortable. She's actually comfortable. We teach children to speak the truth. Yeah. Why are we now saying that this girl is being rude somewhat to the VC? Was she?
No, we teach women and children to be able to express themselves well. And I think that expressing yourself well is not a problem. You're not meant to dress the way you feel comfortable. You're meant to dress appropriately for where you are. So it's not what I like, I feel good, why can't they carry their eyes and look away? And most schools actually have a template for dressing. They might not define what every unit of item you should wear is, but most schools expect you to dress decent. Now, decent, like Mariam said before the show, that what I'm wearing, somebody might say, oh, it's exposing all my hand. And that is not, somebody might look at it and say it's not decent enough. But we all sort of have an idea of what decent should look like in a school setting. When I saw what she wore, if it was a crop top, if it wasn't a crop top, I wouldn't think it is indecent. And then there's some things you get away with body types. There are things I can get away with wearing that Mariah cannot get away with wearing it because of our body type and the way our body is structured. So I might wear the same thing you wear, and somebody will look at you and say, Mariah, you are dressed indecent. And on my whole body, it does not look in any way indecent. That might also play, because when I saw the shape of the girl, the backside was arranged very well. Oh, she had shape.
It just looked like, okay.
Yeah, she had shape. And so for me, I don't personally feel like what she's worn was indecent. If it was a proper top, if it was crop, and the VC raised issues with her to say what you're wearing is indecent, I would say that she also didn't understand how to respond in a form, like a proper way.
But do you think the VC also knew how to speak? I thought he was a bit brash. I mean, there's a way you talk to, you know, and it's almost
but it is a common thing in Nigeria.
No, it's a Nigerian thing where you just see somebody who you are supposed to submit over.
Men in power.
Yeah.
Have you seen police investigating women? Have you seen police when they bring a woman out, they're like, oh, we went to check a criminal's place and we saw one woman. The video came from Ibadan. Yeah. And they were like, so you are, how old are you? Why are you in this house? Yeah. Are you sleeping with him? He's giving you money, Abi? Yeah. And you were recording her. She's not a criminal. You just met her in the house of someone you are alleging as a criminal, and yet you do that video and you post it. The same way they did this video and post it. We need to start prosecuting all these people when they do this kind of things, so that they will know that it's not normal.
Brashly.
I'm doing a video recording my face.
Your thoughts,
so first of all, I like how she's dressed. Definitely, I don't think it's indecent in my opinion. But I brought it up because I was going to say that one thing with decency or indecency is that it's quite subjective. Yeah. You know, it depends on where you are, and so everyone has there's a general code of dressing that you have depending on what part of Nigeria that you are in. Some people will look at what I'm wearing right now and say it's too short, and another person think it's just fine. I remember my mom and my husband used to have that when I would dress a certain way. She'd be like, oh, you're a married woman. And my husband would be like, I like it. That's how I like it, you know. So she didn't understand some of the things. So if we put that aside, right, so we understand that these people are coming from different places, how they dress and how they are comfortable with. And it's not looked at where they are coming from as indecent or inappropriate. We need to understand that Nigerians come from different homes and different cultural backgrounds and just different influences. We need to understand that. Now you come to school, and Ronke, that was where I was headed to about dress code in schools. We're going to constantly have this back and forth. So just lay it out. What do you want the students to wear in your school? Right? Lay it out. Do you want them to wear blazers? Make sure you're wearing long trousers. I know for law students, you always hear that. For law students, they're meant to wear black and white proper formal skirts below your knees, trousers. And I have never heard where they caught a law student dressing indecently because they have given you a template.
Very
know what
clear.
to do. But if the other ones are left to choose, they would dress how they are comfortable. So we're going to, this conversation we cannot keep putting people's children on social media and showing us, insulting them and shouting at them. If they do not think that they were doing something wrong in the first place, if you have a dress code, please let these children know up front. And then when you speak to them, you can say, this is not according to our dress code. And that her response will be different. Because there's another thing I'm thinking. So an adult male comes and meets a girl and says, why are you dressed like this? Young girls see it all the time. I don't know if she was aware that that was the VC. You're walking on the street. There was a video. A girl was walking on the street. One man walking on his own. He does not know them from anywhere.
Going to go and drag her.
Look at the way you are dressed. Dragged her. And at first she thought, you're surpassing your boundary. I don't know you, you're a stranger. Why are you coming into my personal space? So she sort of tried to brush him off with her response, like, you're rude, so get a rude response. He followed her and almost called a crowd around her and broke that girl's confidence. I saw as he broke her confidence. Then made her kneel down in front of him. He stood in front of her and he placed his hand.
Where do we get off?
He placed his hand on her head to break the spirit of the way she was dressed. He has never met her. He doesn't know her from anywhere.
Can only happen in Nigeria.
To enter her private space and determine and tell her and
the spirit.
And even spiritually as Nigerians, place his own hand on her head.
That is where I want us to take this conversation to, because what should the VC have done? What could he have done better? Where you see a girl, call her privately or say, see me in my office, or have somebody follow you guys to where you have a conversation. Embarrassing her in public, saying, putting your hand in your pocket. Remember, see his posture. And pointing at her. What you're doing is you are intimidating this girl.
Intimidating.
And what that does, it breaks your spirit, because she's still she's a growing adult. These are things that that is normal to us in this part of the world. Imagine a young girl travels to maybe US, sees her cousin in university wearing bombshell and shirts, walking around, with her friends in school, and she comes back to come back home and think, you know what, I'm
a good lawyer can call it harassment.
It can be harassment.
A good lawyer can.
You come in and then you feel that I'm just young. But let me come to you in a second. But let me have this call. Good morning, Yakub. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, and good morning to everyone. I think Miriam said something now. I don't know, maybe the school has dress code. If the school does not have dress code, I think the VC has called the lady, and then you have her, why did you dress like this? I think the response from that lady is not good at all. Because you should know that he's talking to an elderly man, if it is a man. Because you are not just come to university to come and learn something, and then you stay there to learn more as well. Even though you dress that in your home, where you are coming from, you know you are in public place, yes, you may comfortably dress it as you like. But consider other people. Consider that you are in university, and then the PC of the school, talking to you, and then your response is like that. But the question now is that, in our law, if you have right to express the lady, that's the question. If the fifth does not have that right, or in our law, to have capacity to expel any student from the school, I don't think that can happen. I don't think so. But for me,
thank you, Yakub.
So Yakub is,
comes to you, Ronke, now.
Yakub is a Muslim. And any woman within their setting have already an idea of what a decent, or what they would define as a decent outfit, which is totally different from another household that is not that is Christian, or even another household that they've never been to church before. They only go to church on 31st of December, and that's all. Or they don't even go at all. They don't go. So for them, I'm free. You're coming to school and you're trying to, there's a level playing ground and expectation, but you're dealing with different people. So if you don't define it very well, everybody would interpret it to what their background is. Putting that aside, the VC comments, when you were talking, I said the VC could be charged for intimidation and harassment because the VC said, bring her matriculation number, she will be expelled. And there was an emotional reaction to a factual situation. Take a picture of her outfit. Usually, if anybody is expelled from a school, there's a board review, a disciplinary board review that will look at it, listen to what she said, and say, based on this investigation, we believe she should be expelled or not. But when you make that statement, it even waters down your position at that point in time. I have a staff. She's been with me for she just got confirmed last month, about 4 months now, and doing her work, closing sales, but she's Gen Z of Gen Z. Like, some days I come to the office and I look at her and I'm like, Andre, did her parents see her when she left the house? Like, her dress. She comes to the office wearing also the kind of things you see when you see Gen Z dressing on Instagram. I had to go and check how they dress up. So when we now confirmed that, we had to now have a conversation that, sweetheart, at this point in time, you've done your 3 months, and we were thinking maybe because you will see the spirit of our organization and how we dress, but you did not see it. But she didn't.
She's probably looking at these bush people.
So for her, she was coming dressed in her own way, and she was so comfortable. Then one day she said she's cold. I said, Auntie, you'll be cold. What you're wearing leaves nothing that will not make you get cold in the AC. So based on our conversation, she doesn't understand what is appropriate to wear in an office. She never knew.
Why? That is why.
We didn't have an HR.
But see, so going back to this, that's why a VC should have used it as a learning curve. Yeah. Every adult must see these opportunities as a teaching opportunity.
Besides, it's a school.
It's a school.
So use it as an opportunity
to... Exactly. So we need to change our thinking. It's not about pushing down and talking down, punishing. That's what we're used to here. It's about corrective.
So just like Yakub said,
Sorry, let me pause you for a second because I know you wanted to jump in.
Yes. So I want to differ a bit. And I want to assume that was a primary school setting because imagine if we had a party in school and then parents sending their children with all sorts of people. You just see that it's only the front that is showing. There's nothing at the back. Some people wear bomb shots, and it's very, very important that these things start from the foundational level so children know what is acceptable and not acceptable. Yeah. So I'm assuming that even if there's no dress code policy and you see your VC approaching you, it's just like eating, just eating openly, and somebody says, why are you eating there? And you say, I'm hungry. I'm hungry shouldn't be the right response. I'm hungry should not be a response. So you see your VC approaching you. Courtesy demands that you get up. Why are you dressed this way? Oh, I didn't know it was wrong. I understand.
Okay, I'm going to pause you. That's an interesting angle you took us. Let me take this call. Yinka. Oh, I'm so sorry, Yinka. Please forgive me. She brought an interesting angle. And it sounds very more like a Yoruba culture than a secular. Let me explain why. Because I hear you. You're right. We've been looking at it culturally. Yeah. Because I'm hungry. If you ask me why you're eating that food, because I'm hungry, sir. There's a nice way of saying it. I'm actually very hungry. There's a way you say it, there's a tone you say it that might not be seen as rude. But if you say I'm hungry, there's a way you say it, actually, sir, I'm actually very hungry. There's a way you say that you won't come out across as rude. But the point is that it depends on how you look at it. For some people from different cultures and backgrounds will not see it. For them, I am hungry or I am comfortable with what I'm wearing and I'm okay. Yeah. It depends on your background. So it depends on how you're looking at it, though.
Yeah. And this background is not even your home.
Yeah, but this is a university.
It's a university.
No, remember, just using your scenario, let's just say that this is someone who's coming to the school and they see people eating at different parts of the school anyways, and no one has called them out for it. And maybe there's no well-known, or maybe there's a cafeteria, but nobody really uses it, or anyone can eat anywhere. It has never been a problem. And then someone approaches you. The first thing you're thinking is, you're not really thinking that they're asking you, why are you not eating at the cafeteria? You're just likely wondering, okay, where's this leading? I'm hungry, yes. It does not say to you, why are you eating there? Don't you know you have a cafeteria? It's different than, why are you eating? What are you eating? Are you eating there? Like, okay,
so there's an accusation.
So you have to explain yourself. You are dealing with adults from different places. We're not saying
children.
I was going to say,
and they're not really adults.
About you come to school for moral guidance as well. It's not just for the academics. But also remember, as we said, you're supposed to teach it. Yeah. Right? So let's just say this person was unfortunate and did not get the proper home training. but fortunate enough to be able to come into your institution, there's an opportunity for you to teach someone. So if that person was said to, what you've won is indecent and is not allowed, as you know, there's a code of dressing, and you have dressed wrongly, and the person is now even more rude or says, well, I don't care, I'm comfortable. Now you're dealing with someone who is being rude. But sometimes I feel that we try to create a scenario where someone should fall. You want somebody to make a mistake so that you can punish. You know, I've come here, the police officer stops you. He's not coming to teach you. He's coming so that you will fall and then you will go and meet him.
So it's a mentality change that we're asking for. So it's a good conversation because we're seeing different perspectives, and I like it. But you see, it's an opportunity for us to see that in a university setting, everything, your actions, your words, is a lesson to the students that are there. So as a VC, your approach should be different. All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guests. We have to wrap up on this. Thank you so much. We'll bring in our chairman from Agege. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So on this show, we've discussed everybody from the executive to the legislator, to even various arms of government. But today, a very critical part of government is with us today. And we're pretty excited because we've always blamed the local government for everything. It starts from the local government. Today, we have the executive chairman, Orile Agege, Honorable Johnson Sunday Babatunde. He will be discussing with us the intricacies and complexities of governance at the grassroots level. Welcome to the show, sir.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here this morning.
Yes, good to have you. All right, so let's start with local government, because one of the things we've discussed on this show several times is that there's only so much state government can do. That real governance is at the local point with the people. And when we have the local government chairman, the LCDAs, they're the ones that must actually ensure that people feel what government is doing when it comes to roads, fixing of the local roads, clearing sewages, clearing the gutters, making sure there's free flow of traffic, you know, even the local schools. We'll come to schools later, maybe another day. But let's start with Orile Agege as a case study. How would you say governance within that region has been so far since you became chairman?
Well, we want to give glory and honor to Almighty God for giving us that unique opportunity to be elected as the chairman of Orile Agege LCD. We came into office July 2017. That was my first tenure as the executive chairman. But we have to return glory to God. Ever since we came in, our government have been a government of positive change, because we came in with a mindset of 3 words: to renew, to rebuild, and to restore the glory of Orile Agege LCD. That exactly has been our driving force. As you're all aware, local government is the closest to the people. We have the federal, we have the state, and local government is the third tier of governments. For example, this morning, waking up, I have so many people at my doorstep, bringing one problem or the other. I have those that call me on the phone. Some people bang into your house. They will stop you on the road. How many people will bang into the governor's office? How many people will move to Aso Rock and say, I want to see the president? Local government is the closest to the people.
Okay, let's start with...
one of the reasons you're here is we just even want to understand some of the issues that we have, and you know how our system is. We point out, oh, it's the federal, no, it's the state, oh, it's the local government. And when we hear it's local, everybody keeps quiet. So I want you to educate me today. See, there are some roads that we feel that local government can take charge of, right? But we hear that there are issues with funding. But we also know that you get funds. Where are those funds going to? Or sometimes you hear somebody say, oh, a big man or a big company or someone has moved into a certain community and wants to build a road. And the local government is asking, you have to sort some people out or else you will not do any construction on this place or you will not improve the community in this regard. So we want to understand what is happening in the local government. Why is it so tough to handle some of these, especially roads and construction issues at that level?
Okay, well, yes, I want to thank you for that question. Number one, local governments, when you look at the percentage being allotted to local government from the federation accounts, is the lowest. I think about 21%. And there are some certain roads that the local government cannot undo.
Yeah.
We have federal roads, like even express. From K road passes through your local government, it will be difficult for you to construct such a road. We have another one from B. That one, there is no way the local government can embark on it. But there could be palliative. There could be palliative. For example, along the Kwaja Road, I discover all the time there is always flooding, heavy flood. That is before the NYC camp. Yes, at my ESCO level, we discussed about it. And we discovered that about 200 meters, we can fix the drainage. That is 1 meter by 1 meter. And we are back on it. Because within our financial capability, we can actually attend to it. So it depends on the individual.
Inner streets, inner roads.
Yes, I'm coming to that. It depends on the individual. As at the time I came in, I discovered most of our inner roads. I think for the first 100 days in office, I've been able to fix about 3 roads within the first 100 days in office. And today, to my credit, majority of the inner roads in Orila Agege, in fact, we are working as I'm talking to you now. We are on Musili Street. We are on Dele Bidu Street. And our viewers at home who are watching will attest to what I'm talking about.
So let me invite our callers. Please, if you're living in Musiliu Street and Agege, please call us. We'd like to call 081-764168, 090-241-6344. So come call us so that we can confirm the roads have been fixed. Let me come to you, Runke, because there are a lot of questions for us for GAT this morning.
Good to have you here, sir. Welcome. So I saw on your page, your official handle, the children who just won that competition, and I'd like to congratulate you.
Thank you.
I need you to tell us, aside the children, because this is a section of children, and I know that in public schools we have so many. So what kind of programs do you have for the teachers? How are you able to see that these teachers can match up to current day best practices, 21st century methods of teaching? Because I don't want to assume this is a true reflection of everyone you have there, but this is commendable. But I'd like you to talk to us. Do you have a plan, a schedule? How do you help your teachers within your local government?
Well, number one, there should be a conducive environment by which our teachers operate. I have 24 primary schools in Orila Agege, and as I'm talking to you, we've been able to fix about 20 out of these 24 primary schools. As I'm talking to you right away, go to Shiloh Primary School. They are doing the tiling of the classrooms. Office of their teacher is being renovated as I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Go to St. Peter Primary School. Go and see what we are doing there now. Go to Orile Primary School. In fact, if you get to Orile Primary School, you feel it is an higher institution. It's for the primary school students. Go to Yewa Primary School. If you go there, you feel it is higher institution. Okay. Wow. Go to Yewa Primary School. Go to Ararome Primary School. Go to Saka Primary School, as I'm talking to you. And as I'm talking to you, all the schools in Orila Agege, we have ICT centers.
Is this strictly local government intervention or?
This is local government,
state,
strictly local government.
Okay. No state involvement?
No state involvement,
Okay.
strictly local government.
Let me take this call from Aurelia Gege. Good morning, thanks for Falimosho. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Thank you for bringing on the chairman of Aurelia Gege Government. We call him Mr. Project. My name is Edafi.
Okay.
I'm calling from Alimosho.
Okay.
I live opposite his own local government.
Edafi, okay.
That man has really performed beyond his doubt, beyond even human comprehension.
Wow.
That's the only local government I feel that has oxygen in the primary health center. He has oxygen in his primary health center.
Oxygen in his primary health center.
I've gone through his project. He is the only chairman that I know that renovated almost all the primary schools in LCDA. I kept wondering where he gets money to implement this project because other local governments are not living up to expectation.
Okay, so he has confirmed that you've done some work. So where do you get the money from?
Well, it's about blocking leakages.
Blocking leakage.
Because there are 4 steps to greatness. Number 1, you need to be determined. Number 2, you need to be diligent. Number 3, you need to be disciplined. Number 4, you need to sacrifice. If you have those 4 points, issue of positive funding, you'll be able to block some of the leakages and you make best use of your lean resources.
Right.
When we talk about sources and application of funds, how do you source your fund? How do you apply it? Are you applying your fund for the benefit of the people? Are you applying the fund for the usage of mankind? That is exactly what has been helping us.
Well,
Our sources of fund, internally generated revenue, then from the federation account.
Okay, internally generated. I'm interested in that. But let me talk to Tokumbo from Aurelia Gege. Thanks for calling, Tokumbo. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is Olawale from...
Olawale, go ahead.
I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not a type of praise politician. I don't praise politician. But give it to this man. He's been wonderful. I've been like for over 40 years now.
Wow.
But I've never seen a local government chairman who has done as much as this man has done.
Wow.
In his just first time, he has surpassed all the past local government chairman. So I want to give it to him. You keep it up.
Fantastic.
God bless.
Thank you very
I
much.
think I'm putting this challenge to you as TVC. I think some of your crew members, they've been coming for most of our programs. And I think by now, they should be hearing some of the things we have done. For example, we are planning 24 computer centers in all the primary schools. And as I'm talking to you, the first 10 pilots is already, by next week or in 2 weeks' time, we'll be launching it.
TVC is a private company. LTV can do that for you, I'm sure. But
TVC came, but they've been coming for the program.
No, but okay, I was good. There's a question that I wanted to let you go.
Ask him about IGR. So you're doing all these amazing things, and especially with the schools, we're wondering, if you're doing it strictly by yourself, not a collaboration with state government or federal, how are you able to generate revenue to do school?
Are you selling?
ICT and all the other things. What are you selling? What are they buying from you?
Well, let me say this. Give it to the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. This man, in all honesty, has not been tampering with the local government fund.
Okay.
Give it to him. We
get your money, 100%.
We get our money, I'm telling you.
Okay.
And beside that, there are some of the things we do. Like at times, when people see the dividends of democracy, you don't force them to come and pay. You don't force them.
You're talking of taxes.
To pay their rates and taxes would be a problem. For example, every morning we have buses, coastal buses, that take children to schools. in Orila Agege City.
Interesting.
Most, there's a positive problem in Orila Agege. The private schools are having problem now. Why? Because people are withdrawing their children from private to public school. And I'm inviting you, come to Orila Agege.
Okay, let me ask you this question, sir, because I'll come to Roke in a minute. One of the problems that Lagosians have is Agberos, touts, and the good boys that, like former Governor Fashola used to call them, of Lagos. How have you utilized the good boys of Lagos within your own community? What are they doing? Because people get scared when they come into Lagos, like, I'm scared of all your area boys. So how do you manage that in your own area?
Well, let me say this. I think the cultural, prior to the inauguration of Mr. Governor, after the inauguration, we had a cultural program. And they were planning to bring it to Agege. And the next thing, they were just afraid. The area boys, how will we curtail them? What will happen? We better be careful with our bags, with our phones. And I said, don't worry, come. Because when we came in, I looked at how to solve some of their problems. And the first thing I did was to get them Korope buses to all the junctions. I bought Korope. I was the first with my picture on it. I gave it to them. And we equally embark on a program. That is empowerment program. Quarterly basis, monthly basis, that we empower these people. We give them 100,000 for empowerment. So in other words, we've been able to take the fight to their own doorstep. We have vocational center that we encourage them that once you are being trained in one trade or the other, will definitely empower you.
Okay. Let me take this call when I come to Ronke. Sadiq, thanks for calling. You're live. Good morning, Sadiq. Okay, I think we lost that call. Go ahead, Ronke.
Okay. Thank you so much, Honorable. So I had an event recently, and I was privileged to have, in that event, the Honorable Commissioner of Education. Now, when members of my community, so our LCDA now heard about it, they're like, why didn't you tell us? So at that same meeting, I had the vice chairman, and he was like, you should have carried us along. So my question is, most young entrepreneurs do not identify with the local government because you guys don't have that platform where there can be a possible handshake and, own their strength, push them, motivate them, and get them to do big things so that younger people can be inspired. What's your plan to see that the entrepreneurs within your LGA are recognized, supported, and even get to inspire the younger ones?
Let me set an example. Sometimes ago, a youth corps member came to us and he said, part of my project, I want to train the young ones in digital marketing. And I said, wow, when I saw the proposal, I said, wow, this is a beautiful one. And we discussed at the ESCO level. Then we put adverts that young guys who are interested to come in. Do you know the majority of those who came for the program, they are not even resident in my local government? I didn't even know. Not until the day they will be graduating. And I asked, how many of you are having laptop? And they told me, few of them. And I said, okay, I'm going to get you a laptop. The local government will get you a laptop, even if it is Tokumbo, we'll get you a laptop. And we bought about 20 or so. And it was done on me so that I'll be able to identify their homes. I say, where are you from? Where are you from? And they started telling me, some from as far as Mowe, some from Agegule. And I said, wow, but I've already made the promise.
Right.
So the question is, are they in tune? We placed that advert. We told some of the youth groups around. They didn't respond to it. So the problem is not even with the whip. It's not with the operating.
Yes.
It is with the people. For example, the National Youth Council in my local government. They came up with a proposal some times ago that they want to have a farm. And I said, okay, I'm ready to acquire land for you. We went as far as Abalabi in Ogun State to acquire about 10 acres of land. We acquired it. I went to the farm. The next thing they would tell me, we release some funds to them. The next thing they would tell me is that the harassment problem is pushing them out of the farm. I know it was a flimsy excuse.
Okay.
And apart from that.
Okay, because of time, we have to wrap up. But somebody was asking in the group here saying that you didn't touch on Ilubodu Street, Adebari, Ifelodu,
okay, yes.
that. What are you doing in those areas? And then who is also in charge of potholes in your area? Who handles, is this LCDA or is this state government that covers potholes?
Yes. I will. Let me come to Ilobu Street. Ilobu Street graciously is being handled by the state government. And the contractor moved to site. But one way or the other, we've been mounting pressure on him to continue the work. The work has stopped for some time now. Right. But that one is beyond my own capacity because the contract was actually awarded by the state government. And I think by now, I've asked them to write a letter to the Minister of Works so that they will be able to hasten up. Now, potholes. Yes, we are in charge, but we are in the rainy season now. Immediately after the rainy season, we are coming up to ensure, like Okoba Road. Maybe somebody mentioned Okoba Road. Okoba Road is state government road. But we are not waiting on the state government. I think I've walked on that road more than 2-3 times to fill up the potholes. But I can assure you,
we run out of time.
Immediately after the
rainy season.
We'll
bring you back after rainy season to ask you how much
waste disposal.
Because of time, you could not ask.
And let's be like, but you can throw. I have 5 seconds.
The state government is complaining about waste disposal and how you are handling it and blocking drainage.
Let me, as early as this morning, at Orile Junction, people will testify. We place some people to arrest those who are indiscriminately dumping refuse. And I was called upon this morning that they've arrested somebody. I have to leave my bed, even without doing the morning devotion. I ran there.
You arrested, what happens? After arresting, what happens?
Yes, I've taken.
What's the system?
He's going to face the law because we have our customary court. Yeah. So he's there. They're going to charge
run out of time.
The problem is with our people. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse. And we've been embarking on sensitizing.
We have to run. So we brought you in because we've always had questions about local governments. That's why we brought you in. But don't worry, you can come back another time, properly sit down, and we'll talk about. We'll focus on you for the whole day. Thank you. We just want to have an idea what local government was doing in these various areas.
Local government has been performing. They've been doing well. So far.
All that I've called in, they've confirmed that the work you've done. And I'm happy that we have good feedback. But we'll continue to monitor you, especially after the rainy season.
Please.
Make sure you cover all the potholes.
Monitor.
All right, that's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. Thank you, Ronke, for joining us.
Thank you, too.
Have a fabulous day, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.